Today is another simple woodworking project that will quietly bring you six figures annually. Oh, with the decibel. That's six figures. The upside to your near-death experience is that now you have a portable air compressor. Just put your air hose on the front of it, push it down, fill her back to full. Using a scrap board or a simple piece of construction lumber, I'll show you how to build this project using two beginner hand tools, and then I'll make it once more after making a $200 upgrade. Head on over to whosthevoss.com and print out the free plans for anything I build here on the channel. Pick out one of the shapes, cut around it, and transfer it onto your board. There are other methods, but this is the one that I chose. Look at how many of these would fit on this single piece of scrap wood. Since we are using a hand drill, I pilot a small 1/8-inch hole before moving in with the big dog. Oh, great, here we go. For this, I used a 1-inch Forstner bit. If your thumbs are a little smaller, you can step down to a 7/8. I placed my jigsaw on a few pieces of insulation foam so that I don't have to figure out how to safely dangle the board over the edge of my workbench. In the plans is a cut method I use for this project to keep my hand toes as far as possible from the blade. Here's two things to know about jigsaw blades. They make blades that are thinner to cut tighter curves. They also come in a variety of different TPI. Blades made to cut wood generally have less teeth and create more tear out, while a blade made to cut metal has smaller teeth closer together. They are a little bit wider, but the cut is so much better in my opinion. And once your shape's cut out, you're basically done. Sand these pointy parts so that they're nicely rounded and not so sharp anymore, and sand the edges with your favorite piece of 120 grit sandpaper. To sand the interior cutout, you can begin your journey to Carpal Tunnel City or pick up a cheap drum sanding kit. Slap it in your drill and finish getting your degree with all that time that you just saved. This little gadget's one of the few that I do list online. I also sell them at craft shows, and it's a safe bet because I know I'll sell 5 or 6 of these each time. Put your thumb in it, open your favorite book. Look at that. Holds it open for you, you can read. No more of this and then the book closes. Even in hurricane-like wind conditions, you're still gonna get that chapter read. A few weeks ago was my friend's birthday. I threw one in the basket of stuff that we were giving her, and she was all hyped up because she had no idea that these existed. And she just went to a pretty large book fair. People don't know these exist. People aren't selling these. What's going on? Leave me a comment if you know that these existed. Leave me a comment if you didn't know they existed. Leave me a comment with your favorite mac and cheese topping because heck yeah, engagement. Using a jigsaw, you have to trace or transfer your template onto your piece of material. But if you're going to be using a bandsaw, you can just roughly cut out your shape and glue it or attach it to your material. I like to use Elmer's school glue. It's like a repositionable glue stick. Pops them on the back of the paper and it peels off easy breezy once we're done. If I use this method with our jigsaw, the nature of the teeth are just too aggressive and they start chewing up the line before you have the opportunity to make the cut. This time using a bench drill press, I drilled out the center hole. With the drill press, you can adjust the speed, angle, depth, and it boasts a lot more precision than using your cordless drill. A bandsaw is generally better than a jigsaw when you need precision, power, and speed. Because a bandsaw has a rigid, continuous looped blade running downward, it produces cleaner, straighter edges and effortlessly handles thick lumber. In contrast, a jigsaw uses a flimsy, reciprocating blade that moves up and down, making it prone to deflection and rough angled cuts. A benchtop sander is designed for fast material removal, shaping, and precision edge finishing. Because the sander is stationary, you can use both hands to hold and maneuver your workpiece, which generally improves accuracy and control. Take advantage of the rounded drum and what I call the sweet spot, right here. An oscillating sander should be the last tool on your list to buy. They can be costly, and they take up quite a bit of room for something that I do not use that much. They do help prevent friction heat buildup, eliminates wood burning, and provides a smoother finish by simultaneously rotating and moving up and down. To me, it's just very little bang for quite a bit of buck. It's like buying fireworks here in Illinois. Except these don't get cheaper half a mile into Iowa. Like I'd mentioned, purchase one of those drum sanding kits to put into your drill or your drill press, or you can actually buy an oscillating sander that is a handheld model. Just build a little table that it mounts up underneath. It's actually what I almost did. Another option is to put a teeny round over bit in your palm router, and you can help smooth out that thumb hole. I wouldn't run it around the outside because you're going to get into these little scary spots. Might chip out his little ears, and you're going to have to hand round over these interiors. However, this one, it would work well on, as it doesn't have any little corners. However, just due to how small of a space between this inside and outside, I'm not going to risk it. Instead, wrap a piece of sandpaper around a small dowel rod. You could even use a metal ruler to help get into those tighter corners. Paint or stain your creations however you see fit. I like to just dunk them into the can. As these soak in the stain, we can soak in the profits. Scrap wood doesn't cost anything. They look a lot nicer to build them out of hardwoods versus a piece of pine, but pine's a forgiving piece of wood. If you're a beginner, you're just starting out, build a few out of pine, kind of hone in your skills. I built a few of them out of Purple Heart. Don't recommend it. You're only selling these for about $8 each, and these cost me about $8 to make. Purple Heart's not cheap. Glue, none. Nails, 0. Electricity, 7 cents. Blade usage, looking at a penny. What's a penny? That joke will land in about 6 years. Sandpaper, 3 cents. Stain, 2 cents. 13 cents total. How many of these can you get from one piece of wood? Depends on your size of piece of wood. You put a question mark, infinity mark. It's somewhere in between those numbers. Takes about 8 minutes per one to build. I like to batch them out. So I'll put a bunch on a bunch of different woods. I'll drill all of the holes, flip the cart around, bandsaw them all out, take them all to the sander, sand all the pieces, bring them over here, finish sanding, and then together we stain them. Just batch your projects out. It beats running around the garage doing one at a time. $8 minus my 13 cents. Yes, I did this on a calculator. $7.87 per. You get about 7 of them built per hour. So it's about $55 per hour. Now, $55 per hour is actually kind of low for the channel. I like $100 plus boards, $100 plus per hour builds, but this is about half of that. And with that, I sell 6 to 8 of them every craft show. It is an item that is for sale online, and I don't let them pick what shape and wood type or stain. I just take the picture as we get them made, list it. It's a single item. I'm not doing custom, oh, now I got to make one from this board, and I got to stain it to look like this, and I don't like that hustle. Speaking of online, I have a where to sell your products. Sell the same product to the same person for the same price across a couple different platforms to see which one takes the most money away from me, which one I profit the most from. There's also a when to sell projects. It tells you the breakdown of when you should start building certain projects for certain holidays and events, and it's a couple examples of what projects those might entail. Go check either of those videos out. We did it. We're all done. This little gadget is one of the few that I do. This little gadget is one of the few that I do list. Dang, it's upside down again. This little gadget's one of the few that I do list online. I also sell them at craft shows.